I drove a little over 1,100 miles to Florida, the state where dancing naked in a Waffle House is just another Tuesday. This is an 80s Marmon cabover. My goal for today is to get this thing fired up. According to the previous owner, it hasn't run in about 18 years. Tank's dry. It's a big cam and it looks like it does have jakes, which is exciting. Looking at this plate, looks like December of '96 was the last time it was on the road. This is the oil dipstick, and I don't think it's connected down below, so I have to check that. Do a quick walk around tour and then we'll get right into it. Panel. That probably opens from the inside. All aluminum cab. Honestly, in really nice shape. Exhaust is still there. It's routed out the bottom, but it has been, it has the turnout on it, so I don't think moisture's been getting in there. You know, it's really straight. There's not really any dents or dings. The door reveals all the way around, looks straight. The bumper's a little messed up, but I mean, that's easy to fix. The front of the cab's really nice, straight. The glass is all intact. You know, the weather stripping around probably needs to be replaced. The grill is aluminum and it's broken a little bit down here, but that could probably be recreated by somebody who is talented with aluminum. Window glass is broken, but that's just flat glass. You can have anybody cut that. Needs a new door handle. You go up to the interior. Something has been living in here, but I don't know. Maybe with, you know, take the mattress out and clean it. I feel like the rest of this stuff is in pretty decent shape, all things considered. Got a flat dash, wood grain looking. It's metal, it's not actually wood grain. And a transmission. It's always nice to have one of them. I mean, this truck is totally restorable. Pretty straightforward, nothing crazy. I mean, the seats are in terrible condition, but honestly, I've seen worse. All right, with that out of the way, let's try to get this thing started. Let's go grab a couple batteries for this thing. These cables are looking pretty rough. I want to clean them up. Get a nice shiny surface like that. It's going to really improve your chances here. Now, in my experience, these big cams are 12 volts starters. There's a 50% chance that the red on these cables means it's positive. Always do the tap test. Probably because the cables are touching. Let's see if we can avoid starting a forest fire. Ouch. Basically factory new. The headlights are on. See what kind of life we got here. Oh, I got lights, volt gauges. What if we just bump the key? Nothing. So I'm just looking around here, and this is the starter solenoid. This is what would send power to the starter. Doesn't look like it's in super great shape. Yeah, that little guy. And he's gone. Oh. I'm not seeing any voltage there. This wire here goes to the starter. So I think if I pull this off and put voltage directly to this, it should engage the starter. All right. Follow this up to the I don't have any friends button from Harbor Freight. Good things. Turn the key on. Not raging signs of life. Hitting things always seems to help. Do some research here. Well, after messing with this for a little bit, it needs the starter cleaned, and at the moment I don't have the capability to do that, so I'm not gonna be able to do anything with this while I'm down here, unfortunately. So about a year ago, I came down here and I tried to get this thing running. I did film some stuff and I wasn't able to get it. I just ran out of time. This is a 1980s Marmon cabover and I'm gonna try to get this thing running. It has been parked here for about 20 years. Treadle valve is not stuck, which is, and neither is the throttle. Those are all good things. We got data manufacturing 11581. Trans is RTO 12513, so it's a 13 speed. NTC 400 Cummins. Let's not waste any time, get into starting it.
The tank is dry and clean. Oh, there's a little bit of moisture in there, but honestly, it's not bad at all. That's seized right out.
Really wanted to try to see if the engine would spin over by hand. There's almost no chance these cab jacks work.
There's probably also no fluid in it, but that's probably because it all leaked out. Now these tires are buried in the...
Kind of went back through and watched some of the videos just to see. We have a solenoid here. Like to get that off and cleaned up. You can see there's wires that are corroded and broken. With wires looking like that, there's no chance we're gonna get any connectivity through there. That's gotta be cleaned up and connected properly. And looking here at the cab jack system, one of the lines is off right there, so they are not going to lift up. I think my exact words were something to the effect of, I'm never doing a cab over again. Okay. Come out. Okay. Okay. Couple reasons why these will never work. The corrosion, the wires are all exposed. This stuff's all got to be clean. And the owner was really nice and bought new battery cables. Grab ends for these. All the nuts and hardware cleaned up, nice shiny surfaces, ready for reassembly.
This tank has some stuff in it, but it is a sludgy mess.
There's a crossover tube that runs across there, and I closed that side, so we're only pulling fuel off that side. And that tank is empty and clean.
I would like this little pricker bush to stop causing me so much angst. There's something in there, but I would not call that fuel.
Oh boy, that's nasty. Boy, it's black.
Yeah.
Looks like motor oil, don't it?
It does, and I'll tell you, the other tank looks like it has motor oil in it. Alright. Diesel can, got a bunch of parts. Let's go give it a try. In the bay. Look at that crazy looking thing. And that's a cruise ship. That's the port over there. They got cranes and stuff loading those barges. That's pretty cool. I would normally always solder these, but I don't have the right stuff to do that here. A little bit crude, but it works. Here's the old solenoid. There's the new one. Much similar. These both broke off. I'm I'm glad they made this so comfortable to work in here. Okay. All right. I think those connections are about as good as I can get them without pulling the starter, and do not want to do that. And you guys know the drill. Never leave garbage around, and if you see any, pick it up. Leaving garbage around is just disgusting. Pretty easy. A bag, a bucket. Keep it clean. Took the old O-ring off there. Comes with a new one. Let's put that on. Dumb government cans. Also got a little ATF. It can't hurt. Perfect. Now on these Cummins PT pumps, there's a plug up on top. Talk to any of the old guys, they'll tell you, pop that plug out before you go start one. Pour a little ATF down there, diesel fuel, whatever you got, and that'll lubricate the pump while you're cranking and right after the first start. Whether that's true or not, I have no idea, but it sure makes me feel better. We shall see. Hey guys, what you doing? What you doing, buddy? What you doing? This starter is a 12-volt starter, so we'll wire 2 batteries up in 12-volt, whatever, series, parallel, whatever you want to call it. Hooking the negative to the negative makes the voltage stay 12 volts, but it doubles the cold cranking amps. Give this a little tap test. Always good when it doesn't fire up immediately and drive away without you. I'm not saying that can't happen, I'm just saying it wouldn't happen to me. Good idea to look up there, make sure there's no mouse house, it's clean. Plus, if things get hairy, you can stuff your head inside that and the turbo will shut everything down. Well, the turbo won't shut everything down, but if you stick your head in there, it will. Ever so slight amount of oil in there. See if we got any power. Check this cool thing out. Looks dry. It's dry. He said they may have drained the coolant out. Isn't that cool? Alright. Remember from last time, this had a battery switch, so what happens? We got nothing. We bumped the key. Okay, that's disappointing. Let's do some testing. All right, so with a little testing, I determined that I wasn't getting 12 volts to the switch terminal on the solenoid. Since my middle name in college was jumper wires, that's what I did to prove a theory. So let's see. There we go. That also confirms that the engine is not stuck and it is not in gear. And I will route this a little bit better. The other place we need 12 volts is the fuel shutoff solenoid right there. When I hit the key, let me know if that light comes on. I have no light there, so it's not gonna work until we remedy that, because that's how fuel goes into the pump. Fun fact, in high school, I had a 94 Chevy Silverado that I had nicknamed the War Wagon. I did that because someone shot the tailgate all up, and I had the four-wheel drive rigged up on jumper wires in the glove box. So if you wanted four-wheel drive, you leaned across, you plugged the jumper wires together. And if you ever run into a man named Pooh Bear, he can confirm all that. I can test that fuel shutoff solenoid with the I don't have any friends button. I think this button's on the fritz. Let me try a different method. There's a draw, but I'm not hearing an audible click. And usually you can hear them open and close. Sometimes banging on it works. I don't know, I'm tempted to try it. If we don't get smoke pretty fast out of the stack, I'm gonna be coming after that thing with a hammer. Okay, here goes nothing. Good signs here. I had smoke pouring out of here, so I unhooked the battery. The positive is warm, the negative is warm, which is usually a sign of massive resistance, which usually means corroded terminals or whatever else. This came off of there, so that wasn't helping her cause. I hate to fear that I would have to pull that starter, but I almost think that's what's gonna have to happen just because the starter needs to be cleaned up. And now all that starter's doing is clicking. I'm just gonna pull the starter. But sitting here arguing myself is not going to make this truck run any better or easier. And I can do hard things. New plan, I bent a wrench. Man, I don't know what to do. If I could get that starter out, but I was bending wrenches. I was gonna take the solenoid out, but those bolts are rusted in.
I should have been filming, but I got all the bolts loose. I'm just gonna spend 4 hours unbolting them. And you pretty much have to use a wrench because you can't get to them with a socket. Really splendid design. So easy to get to everything. One bolt.
2 more to go.
And then a Patreon video is made because of what's happening.
I'm wrapping up for today, picking up my tools. I'll be back out here tomorrow morning. Stop for lunch at the Waterfront Social. They have outdoor seating. This place is pretty cool. Looking at this right here, this got warm. This could have been an area of lost contact. Honestly, the threads on that stud look pretty terrible. That thread's all stripped out. Now I'm half tempted to just go buy the 39 MT, which is a gear reduction starter for this. If it was my own, I'd try to rebuild it, but I am trying to get this running and in better shape for this guy. I normally wouldn't replace the starter. I would just try to rebuild this one, but I am doing this for a guy and I want it to be easier for him to sell it. And if he's got to fight with a starter, I'll just replace it for him. This is a 42 MT. This is a direct drive start. There's a 39 MT. This is a gear reduction starter, about half the weight, a little bit shorter. Lots of recommendations to switch to this style. Somebody did say I needed this spacer plate and then make sure that these are clocked correctly by undoing these and then rotating it, but it looks fine. Okay, here goes nothing. Half the weight of the other one, it's still really hard. I have to turn 3 bolts in about a 1/16 of a turn at a time. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay.
Hook the starter up, hopefully, one last time. So I just took this cover off the fuel shut-off solenoid. This is it here, it's just a magnetic switch. After looking at a diagram, there may be a bunch of pieces missing in there. The screw was screwed all the way in, which is the run position if you want to override the solenoid. Then you have to manually back it out. I would much rather use the key than crawl in here with it. That solenoid would need to be replaced. Hopefully that's gonna do what it needs to do. Do the little tap test. The moment we've all been waiting for. Well, that sounds way more healthier. I don't see immediate smoke pouring off of it, so that's good. Before I get too excited, we should probably put fuel in the old girl. ATF. They make these government gas cans so they don't leak and spill fuel everywhere, but these always leak and spill fuel everywhere. I don't know if I mentioned it, but this truck is going to be for sale. Hopefully I can get it running and make it easier for one of you guys to want to buy this and restore it. It's a solid truck. The cab's in pretty nice shape. Don't know the availability of parts on a Marmon, but you got a frame, a cab, and a big cam Cummins. I can't imagine it'd be very difficult to really shine this old heifer up and put it back to work. Oh, yes! Oh, she's gonna go. Freaking sick, dude, it runs. Oh my gosh. I love this. Oh, that's crazy. So cool. I gotta take a video for the owner. All right, we're a little low on oil pressure. The oil pressure's only sitting at like 15. I guess I don't love that. Dude, oh my gosh, it freaking runs. So I came here like a year ago to try to get this thing started, and I ran into the starter issue. I just didn't have time or the tools. And I thought when I was gonna replace the starter, I thought it was gonna kick my butt again, but I'm glad I stuck that through to the end. Just looking underneath, I don't see any oil leaks. Would like to see more oil pressure than that. There's a little bit of a fuel leak right there. Now I am kind of stuck in gear. It hasn't come down, and usually the oil pressure will fall right back down. Clutch must be stuck. Jam the clutch pedal down. All right, it's getting late in the day. I'm gonna leave that clutch pressed in overnight. Hopefully the pressure and the stuff I sprayed in there will pop it free. Come back to this in the morning. Just stopped down at this place outside of Crystal River, 220 barbecue. Stuff is freaking delicious. You should stop down. I would crawl inside of that thing. Dude, awesome. Thank you very much.
Over there. Yeah.
Thanks again, man.
Thanks for have a good
Yeah, you too. 220 Barbecue, really a great place and awesome service. Excellent. Like to see that.
You guys want to get up and dance over there? Coming down. She can't see what's cool. Just climb down the cottonwood tree. I was on the road. I'm in love with you, baby. I don't even know your name.
Alright, so I'm working on something else for this guy right now, and he said that this tractor hasn't run in a while.
Let's check the oil. Got oil in it. Smells like oil-ish. It's wet, but there's nothing up there.
The story is that they were changing fuel filters constantly on this thing, and they ended up replacing the tank. So they put the new tank in it because they were getting a bunch of rust in the filters.
Looks like there's fuel in there.
And they just never got back to bleeding it out. So let's see if we can get this thing up and running for him. Throttle linkage is free. Super in neutral. That's the shutoff, which is a little stuck. And the switch seems to be good. Throw a battery on this thing and see what we get. Back out here the next day. Let's see if this thing magically freed itself up. It feels more neutral than it did before. Clutch is still stuck in gear. If I jack that back end up, it'll pop out of gear at least. Let's see if that'll loosen up the shifter. There we go. Back to neutral. Nice. Okay. That was it. All right. See, we're still showing like 15 psi on the oil gauge, and I don't like that. I mean, a fresh oil change wouldn't hurt, but not in the cards today. That brought it up to actually full, so that's good. Here goes nothing for the umpteenth time. Well, she runs. The problem is there's no way to shut the fuel off. The solenoid isn't working, and backing that screw out didn't work either. Either of those things are good, and I didn't really notice any oil pressure coming up either, but because that oil pressure gauge is stuck, I think the gauge is probably bad and the oil pressure may just be fine. That being said, I'm not willing to run this super long to find out that I'm wrong. But we can try bleeding it at the pump. Do that thing all the time.
They sit around and go bad, you know.
Oh, I know, dude. I have about a 6-month policy on batteries. They don't last longer than that. Probably got all kinds of wolf spiders living in there.
Yeah.
Florida man is braver than I am.
No, I don't care for them myself. Yeah, I just turned the fuel on. Travelers, I used to use them. That's 1,000 cranking amp.
If we take it off. Tap test here. All right. Doesn't start immediately and run us over. That's good.
I don't know if the wires is even hooked. No, I don't think the wires are hooked to the starter. You know where they plug in? They stick.
Oh yeah. Oh, hang on. Here.
I'm not sure which one's which now. I think one of them is the ground. I'm not sure. I did know.
Well, a bigger ground because the. All right, hit the key, Danny. Let's see what happens.
Thank you.
Yep.
We have to bleed them injectors.
Yeah. Would you?
Can you reach them with it?
Yep.
I snugged them pretty tight.
I see that.
I overdo that sometimes.
Me too. See if we got any fuel. Go ahead and hit it. All right, hold it. All right, now we got fuel in all these injectors.
Kubota,
Yep.
and I'll tell you what.
Kubota diesel I just rebuilt. I have never fought so hard with an engine to get the thing to run. Hit it and let's see what happens. All right, so we got this bush hog on here. Minty fresh. How cool.
Oh.
Good running tractor.
Does that have that seat clamp on there?
I took that off and I set it next to the tree. And with that, I'm gonna wrap this video up. This was a super fun one to try to tackle. I did come down here like a year ago and try to get this thing running and just didn't pan out. I'm glad I was able to come back and finally get it to run. This truck is for sale. If you guys are interested in it, you can send me an email. Please only email me if you're interested in buying it. It is located near Brooksville, Florida. You will need a lowboy. It does run. You could probably put it in gear and drive it out of here. It'd be better if you had a skid steer or something to help pull it around, but that would be a you problem. I will do my best to facilitate any serious inquiries, which brings me to my next point. David is the owner of this truck and Danny is the owner of the land where this truck is parked. Both of those guys were just cool guys, salt of the earth type people, and I would love it if you guys said hi to them down in the comments. And if you guys got anything out of this video at all, if you would do me a favor and share this everywhere you possibly can, I'd appreciate it. As always, thank you guys very much for watching. I'll catch you on the flippity flop.